So Thomas, welcome back to Face. And are you long some Swiss francs?
No, no, I'm not. But I was thinking that may be a good one. I don't
Yeah.
know. The whole macro environment is such a mess that it's unbelievable. And
So you finally have gold acting like let's party like it's 1999. The strength, the direction, the speed of the move in the gold has been really impressive. There you go.
That's what you expect from a safe haven asset. And I don't think we are going to party like it's 1999, but more like it's 1970s.
Okay. All right. Or how about 1929?
Yeah, well, we may combine, all of those, make our own. Like the people will talk, let's party like it's 2020 in the future.
Yeah. So what are you worried about the most? Could it be that with what just happened in Israel, that the commitment to Ukraine is not going to be as strong? Go ahead.
I could actually start a figure riddle if you let me share the screen.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So I don't get this too. It's always like a
the buttons on the bottom when you scroll. It's not letting you?
No, it is.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So why is the question is, why is this so crucial?
Yeah, I agree.
Why is this?
That's a choke point.
Where it is?
Yeah, the Strait of Hormuz. It's Iran.
Yeah.
It's how much? 60% of global oil travels through there.
Well, actually, it's like it's about 1/6 of the global oil, but
1/6. Okay.
Yeah, but 1/3 of the global LNG.
Okay. So that's why the natural gas really came out of the hole last week. Before Israel, natural gas. So people knew. Yeah. So everyone's saying that we didn't know and Israel didn't know. I don't know. It's a terrible thought, but maybe they knew.
Yeah.
But they wanted to let it happen.
I don't know. Yeah, because that's what I've been speculating. Would you believe that the most pervasive intelligence agents in the world would not see that happening in their backyard, the surprise attack? I don't.
Yeah, they're using the fact that everyone was distracted because of the Supreme Court issue of Netanyahu revamping. But Thomas, I have that feeling in my bones, and it's not just a feeling, it's from watching Netanyahu most of my trading life, and knowing that his mission is to eliminate someone who's threatened to wipe Israel off the map, very anti-Semitic Ayatollahs. He's getting older now, like us, right, Thomas, and like Putin, and you want to have your day in the sun, and I think this is his opportunity, and something's going to happen in the Straits.
Yeah, probably.
You think so?
Yeah, no, that's like today they gave. I think it was yesterday night. They gave the 24-hour notice. The Israel army.
Okay.
For the people of the northern Gaza to leave.
You're right.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, how do you see it taking shape? Will Israel have to go it alone, and the U.S. Can't fund Iran or Israel with what's happening here in Congress, or will it be, do you think, a joint military exercise, a joint mission with Israel and the U.S., maybe flying together in support of Israel?
How could the U.S. not be behind Israel? How could it not?
Okay.
I don't
I don't know.
yeah,
Because of we can't govern.
well, of course, that's a possibility, but your military still works. Of course, if you have another shutdown in what, 45 days or something,
Yeah.
But I think
Yeah.
if there's a war in Middle East, the whole debate of the government funding will go away.
Okay.
That's my bet.
All right.
If it
So
really,
go ahead.
if it really gets going in the Middle East, then I don't think there will be an issue of government, not a shutdown of the government. They're not getting their funding. I don't believe that.
Okay. All right. So now we have two theaters open, right? We have Europe, we have the Middle East.
Yeah.
There's only one left.
What's that?
In Asia.
China. Okay. China too. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And
So
then,
do you think here's what I was thinking over the one, I'm a technician. I don't know what I gives me the right to voice my opinions and the thoughts that I have. But I really think China was a lever on this because they brokered the deal between Iran and Saudi Arabia. And they didn't want to see the deal between Saudi Arabia and Israel take place. And Iran is a client state, right? And they wanted to kill that peace deal, which is what they did. Do you think that they were the puppet masters here?
could be, but what do you think? What is the kind of the general view within the deep state of the US, for example? What do they want?
Tell me.
No, I don't know. I'm asking you.
Because
it's just I think we have enough evidence that they really deliberately broke all peace deals in Ukraine in an effort to undermine Russia. So what are their plans? What is there? Is there a plan in Middle East? Well, of course, there's a plan. What is the plan? Because it's just, of course, it's possible that the Biden administration had no idea, and CIA had no idea that Hamas is going to strike. I don't really believe that either. So if we assume that wasn't the case, that they were caught on the pants down, what does it imply? What is going on here? Like, it's the is it the kind of a broken gamble of the US to kind of assert power to certain places, to undermine Russia, to undermine Iran, to undermine China? What is going on here? Because the grand chessboard by Tiffany past them.
It's always been about hegemony, hasn't it? About the dollar.
Yeah. It's always been about that. So what do you think? So these are the questions I'm asking them. What is the end game here? Because if you do not understand the end game, you don't understand where are we going and what are the risks. So, like, the geopolitical theater has not been this messed up since, I don't know,
the 40s.
Yeah, probably. We have to probably go to the Second World War.
Yeah.
And it's dominating every landscape. Just assume what happens to the foreign exchange markets. If there's a actual oil embargo of OPEC or Iran closest to Strait of Hormuz, it's a bloodbath. And the US is like, USD is not like, it's not like a safe haven anymore. I think the bond yields show that it's losing it. And then there's the nuclear option. I don't do you see the new? I changed the screen.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay.
These are the 10 points, the worst
okay.
case.
All right.
Yeah? So
yeah. Okay.
We can go through it.
So Europe definitely will be almost forced to not act like a NATO member and try and work something out with Russia with this going on? Because you guys had a warm winter last year. You may not this year.
Exceptionally warm winter. Like I think the January was the warmest winter in the record in UK, and we can we can assume that goes really far to history, like several hundred years. So it's exceptionally warm. But I don't trust our political leaders to make the proper thing here. I don't trust that they will brokerage a deal with Russia, what they should do. And let's remember that the Nord Stream 2 is still broken.
Okay.
So it's not so easy, even if they wanted to get the gas flowing from Russia. It's, I don't know. Well, maybe they would.
Well, you know, yields have been coming down a little bit recently in the last, since the last Fed meeting. They peaked. So could it be that, if we're talking about this, that the Fed is already getting ready to flip?
Well, today there was a interview on CNBC, and it was actually the governor of the Central Bank of Lithuania, and he kind of hinted quite directly to the geopolitical risks in monetary policy. And this is again something that everybody should understand, that if a wider war breaks out in the Middle East, we could easily see the shortages seen through the 1970s and the complete disarray in the energy markets, global energy markets. And it would throw a massive curveball to any, like, the foreign exchange market, every single market. And let's not forget that we have still the banking issues is rather clear in the US and in Europe. So this is a very kind of hazardous combination what is being building up here. And this could have not come for the worst time. There could have not been a worse time than this for the Middle Eastern conflict.
Yeah, Jamie just posted that there was it may have been sabotaged, that natural gas pipeline comes from the Guardian in the Baltics.
The Baltics.
Well,
yeah, we don't know that it currently looks like an anchor damage, but you can do it. Of course, you can do it deliberately. Also, you can just drop the anchor on the where it goes and drag it until it sticks onto something.
So, is there anything we could do besides praying on gold?
So, I don't know. Actually, an hour and a half ago, we sent a warning to our clients to hedge all energy positions.
Yeah.
Everything. So, and this goes from corporations to hedging, all the contracts of the oil, gasoline, everything, gas, and the households to just, buy everything, buy like benzene, gas, all the stuff, and get wood if you have a stove, just to be on the safe side, because this is like the risks. Of course, nothing may come out of this. Everything may come cool, but I don't think it will go that way. And if it escalates in the Middle East, then stuff will start to happen. The energy
there's no way that Netanyahu is going to let this opportunity pass him by.
No, and it's really difficult now because the Israelis, the Israel government is not really a forgiving force in the world.
No. Do you think they have nukes that we don't know about?
I'm rather certain they have.
That's bad news.
That's bad news, yeah. And the thing is that already speculation within Israel, what I've heard, is that they will when they enter Gaza, they know that they will start a three-front war. So it will go. There will be
Hezbollah
from Syria, yes, probably Egypt, Iran through through Palestine or to Hamas, and it can get really messy. And the really interesting thing is, one of the energy analysts raised this point in X, that the Saudi Arabian Crown Prince and the president, was it of Iran or something, they had their first ever fall. So that's like first ever call. And this is like, you know, that in like in the 1970s and in the 1960s, that the Arab countries joined forces against Israel. Of
Right.
course, they lost then brutally, but now they kind of the if you look at the arsenal, for example, what Hezbollah has, it's quite different
Yeah.
from previous times. So there's the war will probably not go as planned as many of us in the West think. It will not be an easy piece for Israel.
Well, let me ask you this. Of course, that's front and center. But you know, for years after 9/11, everyone was worried about more terror attacks, cells within countries, and that went by. People, you know, we got the Patriot Act because of that, and started giving up our liberties to be safe. But there's been no talk about that, you know, just an occasional assassination of a terrorist leader group or the Iranian general. But you know what? We may have forgotten, but I don't think they have. And could this be a go signal for all of this stuff? I mean, Israel has a very, whether they failed or not, or they let whatever, they're the gold standard in security, which now everyone's saying they're not. They let the people down. But if bad actors could get through there, how about the porous borders here in the United States, that they're not just illegal immigrants, that there are bad actors that are here right now, just waiting for the signal? Huh?
Well, we already know from Sweden that has happened. I don't know how the news reads US, but they are finding, you know, every kind of crazy stuff from these groups that now live in Sweden, including missiles, anti-tank missiles. They have weapons of war brought in Nordics. So we have already, in Europe, we have already let the people in. And I had
they used to, Thomas, they used to talk about this thing called a, God forbid, suitcase nuke. Yeah. You have a nuclear device in a suitcase.
Yeah, that's we don't know about that, but I'm rather certain that if such an incident happens, it's because some of the intelligence agencies gave such a bomb to terrorists. I'm rather certain that's because they don't have the capacity to, you know, and the Russia is not the fallen Russia it was in the 1990s. I think everything is accounted for, at least what I've heard. Okay. But this is like there are several of these issues now, and it's not like
there aren't any burners left on the stove.
Something like that, man. And
you know, everything's bubbling over.
The reason why we are using so much time to understand what's happening in geopolitics, because it determines currently what's going to happen in the markets and in the economies. That's just how it is. And this is the first time it's like this for a long time. So many investors do not get it. But when things get moving, really get going, then they understand. Like the Ukrainian thing was just a rehearsal, probably, in the worst case, at least.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's how we go. But should we shortly go through this? We have like 5 minutes. The 10-point worst case scenario. Just
go ahead.
So the first we already talked about.
You're a very good host. Good segue.
Excuse me?
You're a very good host. That was a good segue.
Welcome.
Go ahead.
Okay. So the first 2 points we spoke of. So the escalates, OPEC responds with an oil embargo, and Iran closes the Strait of Hormuz. And there is eight islands in the strait, and Iran has military presence in all of them, so it can close it. However, 85% of its imports come through the Hormuz, so it's not so easy, but it's a kind of a nuclear option. But if such a thing would happen, I think the price of oil would reach $300 per barrel. It would massive shock. And Europe, like we have from Russia and Middle East, we about third of the LNG is coming, or and it would be cut off. And our energy market concerning LNG is very finely tuned. So there would be, energy shutdowns all over Europe.
Yeah.
Massive spike in energy prices.
Yeah.
Inflation will flare up. Central banks have to continue raising rates, and there's a collapse of financial markets and the global banking sector. So it's a collapse.
Yeah.
Then you have the debt crisis in the US because it has to ramp up, military spending. Federal Reserve starts to buy US treasuries again, enacting a quantitative easing while they are at similar times tightening the
how crazy
interest rates. And then there's one last nuclear option for the OPEC and the Arab countries is to stop using dollar as in oil trade.
Yeah.
And if that happens, there's a lot of dollars coming into the US, heading home, so to speak, in addition to quantitative easing that is pushing more money into the US economy. And while your production sector is going down, and this is how hyperinflations come to be.
Yeah.
So this is the worst case, 10 points worst case. And we have to acknowledge if the first one occurs.
Yeah.
There will be 2 or 3 at some form, and the 4 also in some form.
Yeah.
And that
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and then things just start to unravel. Global economy, the US economy, nothing can withstand it. And then we are in a whole different turf again. Like it's like from CNBC, like 5 minutes before we started talking, I was listening to, I don't remember who was there, just saying again about this soft landing. And I was just, in what world are these people living in? Like US households are eating through.
They still have faith. I know they still have faith in the Fed. But you're right. You're going to talk about the U.S. households can't buy food, right?
Yeah,
is that what you were going to say?
Yeah. And then some Paul Krugman lied said the fight for inflation is over. Well, it's not. It has already impoverished the middle class and the poor ones.
Yeah, you're right. Even people that have money are even complaining about gas prices and stuff.
Yeah, of course they are. And
it's only the 1% that doesn't make any difference. They could throw a can of gasoline on $1 million and they're still okay.
Yeah,
millions. Anyway, those people.
People. Yeah, but this is like, and it's like the U.S. economy is like a powder keg, I would say now, with the fuse lit.
Yeah,
and everybody just seems to ignore that. Things are really, really bad. And I just made. I'm going to publish it today or tomorrow in my newsletter a lengthy kind of explanation of research of what is happening in Europe and in the U.S. and every single point of live data I look at in the US shows that the credit crunch is about to start, if not already there. It's just not visible yet, but like it's everywhere you look in the data, basically. It's just hidden because people are not, there is still consumer like demand, and retail sales are okay-ish, and people are using the savings and all that, but behind the surface, the collapse is already on its way.
Yeah, the Comet announced all of this a month ago. Go ahead, laugh at me. But you remember that undiscovered comet that became discovered with the green tail? And ancient people believed that comets were harbinger of war and famine.
Oh yeah, okay, okay.
Okay, so it wasn't one of the regular ones that we expect, like Halley. It was just recently discovered. And, the last time it was here was 400 years ago. So you tell me what was happening in the world in 1623. But that's the last time it was here. I think,
but
you got signals. You got signals from the heavens. So anyway, that's what I think.
No, but we don't. At this point, I don't think we can decline any theory. a lot of stuff happening.
So are you staying put, ride it out at home?
Well, I'm
Keep
I'm
writing.
I'm going to travel, but but
Yeah.
no, it's just you know, of course, our business is highly counter-cyclical, as you can
Yeah.
imagine.
Yeah. You're going to get busy. People want
Yeah,
to hear
I'm
from
gonna
you.
be busy. Yeah, but it's just
Yeah.
I just wish that people would understand the risk we are facing now in the Middle East. It's massive.
Yeah. You know, when I heard about that, I was watching college football on a Saturday,
Mm.
and it's very unusual. They broke in to the game and talked about that Israel is at war. And, I thought, well, they've had these things happen with Gaza and the West Bank before, but I found it unusual that Biden came out and made a statement that day. And then when I found out, uh, the full story, um, I knew, and people were talking Iran right away. Do you think the White House is just saying they can't find a connection? They don't see a connection, just to posture like that they have no plans to do something because
There's
they they don't want to, show their hand.
yeah, there is a even a more sinister option, which I don't consider likely, but which we have to put in the possibility basket that is possible. What if there is some group of actors in the world who simply decided over the heads of White House and even Israeli leadership that the attack of Hamas that they will let it happen?
Yeah, that we talked about that.
Yeah, no, but this is like beyond. I don't. Okay, maybe we did. I didn't understand, but beyond
Yeah.
that, there is some group who just decided, told Mossad that ignore this information.
Well, Egypt said that they warned Israel 3 days prior.
They
It's
did.
not
So
getting much play.
why there was no reaction? So
Oh, you know what? I want to ask you one more thing, and then we'll end the gloom and doom show. Here in the U.S., we had a national emergency test
yeah, I heard.
where it went through everything, and Israel was the only country outside of the U.S. to be included in the test.
Yeah, but I heard that they had something similar in Russia too.
Okay, but our test, they may have had something similar, but Israel, why wasn't it Canada? Why wasn't it Mexico?
Well,
Why
that's
was it Israel?
yeah, that's really interesting. Yeah.
Did you know that?
No.
All right, well, there you go.
Yeah.
Look into it. It's probably nothing.
I don't know. I wouldn't say that. No. Oh no.
Yeah, it's probably nothing, but
Probably nothing.
I,
Yeah.
I thought I thought it was strange that they included Israel in a national emergency test.
It is. It is.
Something's going to happen here.
I think
Anyway,
that is.
let's in college football tomorrow. Probably nothing.
Yeah, probably
Anyway,
not.
Thomas, how do people get your latest newsletter that you're
Yeah,
going to be
just
publishing?
Google me. It's Tuomas Malinen's forecasting newsletter and or GNS Economics newsletter too. So if
Okay.
you want to get the warnings, get the GNS Economics newsletter.
Okay. All right. Any special deal for our listeners?
Just be careful and watch out closely what's happening in the Middle East, and do not believe the talking heads.
Okay. So this was our version of Pandora's box being open. You could follow Thomas on X, yes, at MT Malinen. And my friend, I hope we're wrong. Usually in this business, you want to be right.
Mm-hmm.
I sure want to be wrong about all of this because I'm not a prepper. I'm I'm not a survivalist. I'm a trader, and camping to me is instead of a 4-star, like a 2 or 3-star hotel.
Mm.
That's how I go camping.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well,
thanks.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
I'm not suited for it. So, whatever.
yeah.
Maybe the flash will ended. So, well,
but maybe
anyway,
maybe we will just storm it through, you know, storm it
yeah,
through.
you mean just get through it?
Yeah, it's storm it through, like take all the opportunities it gives a rise to. Or
Yeah, you know, that is the way to look at it.
yeah,
Okay, Mandy,
don't
you got
be
a date.
scared. Just be prepared and ready, like a hungry
Yeah,
lion waiting for the steak or the, you know,
yeah, yeah.
whatever.
Oh, they're going to be market once in a lifetime market
Yes,
opportunities,
yes,
and yeah, you know, and look, I'll admit it. I bought some physical
yeah,
because I was looking for 2040 silver, and it traded 2060.
yeah. You
And
know,
I didn't buy the miners because the RSI confirmed the price move.
yeah.
And now I don't know what to do. I can't chase it here. So,
Yeah, let me tell you this too. And I was in giving a keynote on one, well, let's say a bigger oil company here in Europe, and I talked with the treasurer after my presentation, and told me that they should get all rent a vault and put
yeah,
1% of the liquid asset as a cash there, just to wait to buy out stuff. And actually, their CEO is on the same line. So I'm just telling them, just do not think the crisis as a horrible, scary thing, but as an opportunity. And then you will
yeah.
drive it through. You know, let's try
Yeah,
it.
yeah. You know what, people, the grains, I know I've been the boy who cried wolf about the grains for a while, but that's what happens when you base forever. But all the grains are turning up. If you have room, you should have a silo
Yeah, something like that.
and fill it up with wheat and soybeans and corn. It's going to be
Well,
very
I'm a
valuable.
carnivore, so that doesn't work. Well, maybe I could sell that.
Yeah. All right, buddy.
Yeah, yeah.
All
Thank
right.
you.
All
Yeah,
right, Thomas. Great talking to you. I'll get in touch with you on X, and we'll set up a date and hope that we could talk together again.
yeah. And hope we have the means. You know, the powers hasn't been cut off and all that.
Yeah, that too. All
Yeah,
right.
great.
All right.
Yeah,
I recommend you do the same thing I do. Stay away from razor blades.
Yeah, I'll do that.
All right, buddy. Adios.
Adios. Yeah.
All
Bye.
right. All right. Thank you, everybody. Hope you had a good week. Could join the team in 9 minutes on the morning edge. So remember, face is the place where traders come to become an ace. Don't just count your pips, count your blessings. Have a good weekend, everybody. Adios.
Hey traders, this is Blake Morrow with ForexAnalytix. Thanks for stopping by our YouTube channel. Don't forget to like these videos, share them, and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of the content that we provide here for free. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you in the next video.